So under dimension, these are the things we are going to discuss. When to have a child, how many children we should have, what gender is preferable, naming the child, and at last expenses. It's very ugly to discuss about expense, right? It's not like a product, but still it's needed. So I have written and I also have dashed it just for my satisfaction. So let us get into the first topic. When to have a child. Earlier is better, we have already discussed. It creates intimacy. And is there any other reason? The first reason is health. To have a child, to bear a child, you need to be stronger. If normal delivery doesn't happen, if cesarean happens, then your health is going to get affected. But that doesn't mean that if you have a cesarean, you need to have only one child. So let us discuss when we discuss about how many. But health really matters, and younger the age, more healthy you are, without doubt, universally accepted. Therefore, to have a child, to play around the child, to lift the child and walk with the child and run with the child, you need to be healthy. Therefore, earlier is the best, without doubt. The second thing is, husband and wife's relationship will get stronger when there is a child, and will get shallow when there is no child. And no child, I mean not the one who are not blessed with the children, but the one who delay the child. Right? So the second reason. The third reason is, when you have early, in initial years of your marriage, if you have a child, in the first place, marriage should happen in the earlier age, from 23, 24. That is the right age for a marriage, not only for girls but also for boys. Those days they had marriage, much before that. Around 20 they had marriage, but at least 23 to 25 is okay. But if you got married at the age of 30, 35, then already you are late. And now if you get delayed, it's going to affect your retirement life. What is retirement life? Let's say around 35 or 40 you are going to have a child. So when you are 40, your child is one year, right? So when your child is 25, you will be 50, 60, 65. When I had my first son, my father was around 55. Beautiful, right? My father, at the age of 55, he had his grandson, and he was retired. Lucky, right? So when the children take care of themselves, a very big responsibility comes down of the shoulder of parents, and they can roam around the whole world if they want. But when they are getting older, and when the children are still young, then there comes the problem of retirement. And that is what the people, those who are going to delay their parenthood, are going to face. How many children we should have as a couple? I'm going to shock you. Don't think I'm going to come up with some big football team number. I'm not going to make a big number. I have designed this based on the place where the child is going to grow. If a child is going to grow in an apartment with the four walls, the roof is somebody's floor, and the floor is somebody's roof, and this wall is somebody's wall also on the other side. When such kind of an apartment life where you are going to live, where no grandparents will be around, then better to have more than two children, so that when the children grow, they will have so many opportunity to learn and grow and develop holistically. We'll be discussing, but still for the time being, you understand this. When there are many children around when the child grows, don't say in park there are different house children are playing, therefore my child will grow and learn from them. That is the problem. Every family will have their own agenda, every family will have their own culture, their own values. So it is better to have a team of growth together. And that is why for a joint family, the number no need to be more than 2. Minimum 2 is enough. 2 is also enough. Why 1 is not enough? 1 it's 1 is a sin. I'm not saying that if you are a single child, your parents did a mistake. No, there can be n number of reasons for that. But what I mean to say is, having one child or being one child is a very sad thing. I say sad thing because the support, the joy, the fun which they have when they are growing, and when they are grown, the support which they get and the joy which they get, and the relationship, the n number of relationship networks what your children are going to have if you are a single child is very, very limited, and the other side it is very, very great. So therefore, in a joint family, since there will be many other couples and their children also will be there, your sibling children, therefore 2 and 2, 4, 5, there will be a good number of learning opportunity. Now, why do we need to have many children? Cognitive ability to learn. If you have decided some number, I understand, but I want you to just listen to me for a minute, okay? When a child is growing alone in the house, the child will see grown-up speaking. And when there are 2 children in the house, children talk to themselves, and one speak and the other answer, and other speak and the other speak. So they will only listen to one person. When there are more than 2 children in a house, when there are 3 children, children learning is far better than children learning from elders. So when there are 3 children in a house, 1, 2 and 3, when one speaks to 2, the 3 observes one's asking nature and 2's answering nature, and 2's behavior, when one's behavior, reaction, action, everything a third child can observe. The same way first child with the 2, 3 and second child with 1, 3. When these kinds of observation ability is there, when a child is growing with the siblings, then the growth of cognitive awareness, cognitive understanding, the ability to know things and observe things will improve a lot, and which will largely influence the emotional intelligence of your children. I don't want to talk about emotional intelligence right now, but that's very, very, very important to have a balanced life. The second thing is, when there is one child, obviously one child, I don't want to talk about one child. If you are one child, I don't want to hurt you. But when there is at least only 2 children are there, then what all the problems happen? When 1 and 2 are there, and these 2 children are siblings, and they both fight when they grow up and when they split up. When 1 and 2 fight among each other, and when 1 and 2 move away, then there is no reason for them to come back again and be together. Whereas when there is a third person involved, 1, 2 and 3 people, then even though this 1 and 2 fight, when there is a need for the third, the first 2, the other 2 will be there. Whether it can be that sister or brother's marriage, or a housewarming ceremony, or a function, or a problem. For all these things, this third child will bring the first and the second child together. Therefore, there is more possibility that the 1 and 2 will get back closer. So there are many family dynamics involved. I don't want to discuss so many things. Whatever I am giving is a basic things. I understand your limitation and my limitation in enforcing different things on you, but I just don't want to leave this topic also. That is why I mentioned it, and you are free to take your decision. But I beg you, don't take a decision of having one child. The child is going to get angry on you when the child grows. Let's say I am a single child. You know, I don't want to talk this topic, but still I talk because I feel bad for the single child. Imagine I am a single child and I have a son. Now my son will have a first relative as me, my father, my mother, and my wife's father, mother. That's all, dot, right? Whereas if I have two siblings, one brother or one sister, then my son will have one uncle and one aunt, and their children will be his cousin, and their partner also will be connected. In the very first family, he will have more than 8-9 people, 8-9 relatives, 8-9 loved ones. My brother loves me, therefore my brother loves him too. My sister loves me, therefore my sister loves him too. And even if something happens to me, I'll be very, very happy because there are so many loved ones around to take care of my child. Oh, I don't want to talk all these things, but still, I couldn't control myself not conveying few things because there are so many people, those who think very less before taking big decisions, and they go for a single child. Benefits. Let's have some good mood. What are all the benefits of having many children? The children will have so much of maturity. Yes, children will have more maturity if there are many people. First is emotional intelligence, as I told, and emotional intelligence like ability to judge. They can judge better if there are many siblings in home, and also ability to communicate. For them, communication will be a born skill. Managing, communicating, sharing, caring, all these things will come from home because it is not one child. Mother will not say, see, neighbors are coming, just go to the kitchen and then eat and put it in the dustbin and wash your mouth and come back. That kind of a statement will not happen when there are many children in the house, because anyway 4 children are there, 2 children are there, one more child, hey, give and eat, gone. The child will know the value of sharing and caring. Intellectual maturity, that is what I was talking about, the cognitive ability, where the observing, analyzing, introspecting, because when there are 5 people in home, 5 people will not be the same, 5 people will be basically fundamentally different. Therefore, from the birth itself, a child will know the 5 different personalities, right? And physically also it will be good. Why? Coexistence and tolerance. I already told this. The givingness, the helpingness, the adjusting ability, all those things will be there. People say that, having 2 children, 3 children, the health of the parents will go, my whole career will be broken, blah blah. But statistics says the other way. Just for information, I will share a few data in the below, and you can just have a look at it. The people, those who have more children, those mothers' lifespan are more and their health conditions are lesser. There are many such data are available online. You can also Google if you want. Anyways, the second dimension is lifetime investment. How children can be lifetime investment. For whom? Not only for children, but also for you as a parent. Most valuable wealth is children, right? Most valuable wealth. This is the same dialogue I told for money also, time also, I remember. And next to time, children. Because children are connected with a bundle of love. Therefore, love is obviously the wealthiest. Therefore, children are the biggest valuable wealth. The second one is children get a mutual support when even parents are no more. Sister, elder brother, elder sister. My mother grew up in a joint family where the normal house total number of people, those who are living in the house, crosses 18, 19. The very children are 10 plus. When those many people are living in one roof, under one roof, there is a huge amount of love, right? I still remember, for all my family function, from my mother's family, there will be a full team presence there, and my mother got more than 6-7 brothers, and on her birthday she will get a list of calls from her first family itself, then comes the second family, third family. Understand, the support system what a family can give is completely different. It is not like based. A friend will call you a friend because there is a common agenda, common likes and dislikes. But a person likes you in a family relative just because you are a relative. There is no other agenda. And intellectually, emotionally, physically, financially, different kinds of support your children will get. And the third one, future parents. When your children became parents, even at that time, all these things will be very, very relevant. Their strength of family and siblings. And for a parent, without doubt, it is self-sustainable. For parents, it is self-sustainability. There is no investment plan, there is no pension scheme, there is no retirement scheme. Children are their retirement scheme and all. The very purpose of parents is to take care of the children and walk them in the right path. And once they walk in the right path, then it is the children's responsibility to value and give back to the parents. When a person can't even give back to his parents, then there is no point of thinking of a society at large. So obviously, the children are the biggest investment for parents. Next is gender. I don't want to say much on gender. The people, those who think that having a male child is great and having a woman child is, female child is not great, I just want to say them, wake up. You are still in the hallucination of a euphoric world which you created in your head. If something you don't like in the society, then it is your responsibility to change the society and not change yourself for the society. So therefore, I highly discard even to talk on this topic. The next one is naming, and I don't think naming is it's suitable for you right now. So let us get into the next topic regarding the expense. Definitely sending a child to school or taking care of all the needs, it all takes so much of money, and running a family with a very big family setup is obviously straining. I understand. So it all comes down to the single word called a lifestyle. There were times where in India they had 10 children, 20 children in one house, and they all were going to school and taking care of the family. But that doesn't mean that they were so luxurious, or they were spending so much of money for all their wants, but they were taking care of the needs. So at the end of the day, it comes to the question of the lifestyle and not question of the number of people. The second dimension is about the schooling. People always think that if I send my son or daughter to a very big school, a convent school, international school, blah blah, ICSC, whatever it is, where if they send there, my son or daughter can become a great human being. That's not true. APJ Abdul Kalam didn't go to a sophisticated convent school, or he didn't even go to an English medium school. He went to a Tamil medium school. Even K. Shivan, he's the ISRO director, right? So even he didn't go to any sophisticated. Till his 20th year, he never wore chappal in his life or a pant in his life, because he was that much poor. But still today he is the rocket man of India, right? So therefore, education or development is not interconnected. The child's intelligence and the parenting is connected with the child's success. So don't connect your schooling of the child and the future of the child. It is not so. There is a beautiful dialogue in some movie where they say, what is the difference between government school and a costly private school. In government school, they speak bad words in regional language, and in costly private school, they speak bad words in English. That's the difference. So, bad things are always there in every sector, and good things are always there in every sector. There are amazing teachers in all space. The second thing is, you can't give any guarantee that if you go to some particular school, or if you spend 5 lakh rupees per annum, or 2 lakh rupees per annum, your child is going to be an amazing human being in the future. There is no guarantee. Nobody in the planet can give. So therefore, that should not be the reason for having one child or two children. The third thing, what people are afraid of is marriage expenses. If I have 3 children and all the 3 are girls, then girls' marriage, dowry or marriage expense, all these things are going to be among us. Therefore, I can't spend that much. Understand? It is all about our mindset. There are so many people living out there happily with very, very less amount what you have, and still there are so many people, those who are far more richer and public figure, or in a bigger status than you, those who are not happy. So whether you call, you can come up with a different reason to satisfy yourself, as of remember the fox story, status or pressure, whatever it could be. At the end of the day, everything is in your call, and you need to take that decision. The last thing which I want to share is there any hidden agenda? Is there any other reason where a person say no to having many children? I was once having a very big gathering of parents, and when the interaction was happening, there was one amazing teacher. One of my teacher was there. He was addressing the gathering, and I was also there. And when the teacher was addressing, he asked all the people, all the married couples, they all were parents. So when he asked, how many of you consider children as a treasure? Everybody raised hand. My child is a treasure for me. My children are treasure for me. The second question he asked, if you feel children are treasure, will we reduce the treasure or will we increase the treasure? Then everybody laughed. They understood the point. They told, sir, whatever you are telling is fine, ideally, but expenses are there, right? Then he asked all these questions. There are bad people also from convent schools. Therefore, education is not the reason. You agree, right? And many of them said, yes. And then he asked, can you honestly tell me, what exactly is the reason for choosing a costly school for your children? Then one mother of a child raised a hand. She is a working woman. She said, sir, I thought for a moment, it's very ugly to say, but it is the status of my professional life pushes me to send my child to a costly school. I repeat, a working woman, a mother is telling, honestly, she said, that's her guts I need to respect. She said, I think it is because of my status I am sending my child to a school. I feel very bad now realizing this, because when I heard all my colleagues are sending their children to a very, very costly school of 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, I felt bad that I should not send to a 30,000, 40,000 rupees school. Therefore, only for that sake, I pushed my child to a costly school, even though it is a little costly affair for us. Whether you agree or not, there are a good number of people, those who take decisions on the status and their dignity, peer pressure sake. They take decisions, and because of all those reasons, they don't want to have many children. Then the responsibility and the burden. This is also one thing. There are few people, those who think a child is a burden, child is a responsibility. Therefore, they don't want to take up responsibility. And also there are a few people, those who don't know all these things. Nobody told all these things, and they are just worried about what others do, what others think about me. Therefore, I take some decision. I want you to sit and discuss with your wife on all these topics. or I want to sit and discuss with your husband on all the topics which we discussed here under dimensions, and I want you to come to a conclusion. It can be one child, or it can be two children, or it can be more than two, but whatever it is, there should not be difference of opinion once you take a decision. At least for that sake, I want you to come to a conclusion with your partner together. We will discuss the very, very important, the last segment in the next video. Thank you.